Cassava, a perennial shrub that produces enlarged tuberous roots that are widely enjoyed as a delicacy in different forms like gari, amala, starch, bread, and the well-known katogo, prepared by cooking the cassava tuber with beans in Uganda. The plant is drought-tolerant, can grow on most soils, and its fruit bears numerous derivatives for food, revenues, and other domestic uses. Tonight, we grow cassava on Seeds of Gold. Coming up on Seeds of Gold.
Yes, I wanted to continue with this cassava program. Then I see how I can live, but I want to plant more because I've seen the benefit inside. The benefits, I bought this land, I've started building this house.
Otengo Metrin started out farming 8 years ago in a small village in Hoima, Chabalyanga. Her aim was to improve household incomes and help her community reduce hunger before she ventured into making money as a full-time job farmer. This is where her inspiration was drawn.
So I wanted the food which you can produce very fast to avoid hunger and poorness and to eradicate the poverty in my family and the community. I started with 35 acres. When I planted it, I sold it to those Eldoret textile industries and the Rwandanese who normally come for chips. Yes, I wanted to continue with this cassava program. Then I see how I can live, but I want to plant more because I've seen the benefit inside. I bought this land, I've started building this house, and I bought a vehicle.
With the purpose to eradicate poverty, she superseded the need and built a business from cassava growing. We then asked Otenga what we will need to follow her footsteps, venturing into cassava farming and ensuring a successful harvest. Number 1, getting started. Land and water. Plants need water to grow, and research shows that cassava growing requires well-distributed annual rains of about 1,000 to 1,500 millimeters, but the crop can successfully grow in areas with rainfall ranging from 500 to 2,500 millimeters, which is an average range in most parts of Uganda. This is how Otengo utilizes the prevailing rainy season to kickstart this venture.
If we want to benefit from cassava, first of all, you time seasoning. 2, you plow land. After plowing the first time, you plow the second time, then you measure. Like on my side, I normally prepare land December when it is sunshine. Then I leave 1 month. That 1 month, I spray Roundup to kill all the weeds which is in the what? In the soil. After that, on February, I break the second what? Second plowing. Then on March 5th, I dig holes.
Number 2, seedlings. Cassava can be propagated from seeds or cuttings. In Uganda, cuttings, which are the pieces of the stem, are used. Otenga shows us how to plant the cuttings. You
have to dig the holes, isn't it? The second day, you put this one in lava, in the insecticide. Are you getting? It does osmosis. Then you put here like this one to chase away those insects, which can enter on those and the soil and the fungal infection. Because we normally get fungicide plus insecticide, we put there, we soak these tubers. Then after soaking, we put on what? On the soil. To protect to prevent fungal infection, 2, insects. Like this, it is 1.5 feet deep. I put like this. I put there soil. When it misses to germinate this way, it will put this way. Second point, when the wind comes to overflow it will be very strong. Third, when you put like this, it puts more. For example, when a buyer comes, he will see the stick, how it is, the tubers, how it is very strong, and it is many. He will know that here we have cassavas. But when you put one, he said there is no cassava here.
Number 3, spacing.
This one now, it depends with the varieties. Now this is Serena, because it is very big, you do 2 meters away. Yes. But we have this normal cassava, you do 1 meter. But this one is 2 meters. Because the root is very tall.
Number 4, cassava as a root crop requires substantial amount of moisture in the first 3 to 4 months of its growth. Hence, soils with high water holding capacity, culminating in high water table for the root absorption, are highly essential for optimum production. This is how Otenga retains the moisture in the ground.
I normally get like these shrubs like grass or maize sticks which is harvested. I do mulching. Yes, to prevent loss of water from the plants, the dry season, like June.
Quick facts about cassava growing. Your cassava will require optimum temperatures ranging from 25 to 30 degrees Celsius with a minimum temperature of 18 degrees Celsius. This explains the fall in yields where temperatures are above 30 degrees Celsius. Light, sandy loam soils with medium fertility give the best results. Though the crop can tolerate soils of low fertility, especially if feeder roots can penetrate deeper, deep cultivation before planting is therefore recommended. Cuttings must only be made from the stem when you are ready to plant. Wait for 10 days while keeping them in a cool, dry place before starting to plant. Cut each stem into pieces 20 to 30 centimeters long. There should be 4 to 6 grown buds on each pieces. Up next, Otenga takes us through the possible challenges on your path, the seeds of gold in cassava growing, and later, an expert's look on how to avert some of these challenges. Maintenance is key to ensuring good yields in any crop venture. We asked Otenga how best to look out for the cassava garden and at what stages.
When it reaches knee feet, I weed it. When I weed it, I normally use Indofill. And I normally use Indofill and lava. And this sodium NPK salt, I sprayed. After spraying, I do what? I get this ash from the fire, which is cold. I sprayed on these leaves to prevent cassava mosaic. Are you getting? Then after that, when it reaches this size, I get urea. I put on top of it, of those roots, then I weed it. So when it reaches like 9 months, the cassava is ready. It will put a lot of weight. Yes.
Like all ventures, cassava growing does have a couple of challenges, as she explains.
Challenges, 1, diseases like mosaic. Are you getting? On these pesticides which is underground when you are not treated. 2, thieves. 3, animal damages. Like you can get the like these hens, they damage by using the food looking insects to eat. And you can get these animals like pigs, it uses their mouth to look what? And you can get these cows, it eats the leaves, and these goats destroys the cassava. Another point, it is seasonals. Another point, marketing. For example, like now this season, it is too much rain and the cassava is ready and it must be removed because when you leave there, it will start rotting. Are you getting? So we have challenges like that one. You remove, then you can't dry it. Now when you dry, it takes too long to dry, it rots, there is no good market, the market becomes lower. That's why the reason why we say we time seasoning. Like me, that cassava, I've timed by April to May, I'm selling. June, I finished to sell.
Now we take a look at an expert's opinion on cassava farming.
There are many varieties of cassava that commercial farmers can grow, and most of these mature between 6 to up to 24 months. There are rare cultivars that sometimes grow up to 36 months. Good yields are obtained between 9 to 12 months, but we have cultivars that can be harvested between 6 to 7. Cassava is one of those crops we harvest for quite a long time, but what is important is for those that want to grow cassava is to get acquainted with the requirements for growing the cassava crop. Cassava, just like any other crop, requires deep, free draining with moderately good fertility or reasonable fertility. Why we require that one grows cassava on deep soils is it being a root tuber. We don't want any restrictions to the enlargement of the tubers. Cassava can be spaced or can be grown at a spacing of 1.5 to up to 0.9 or 1 meters. That is from one crop to another and between rows of the different crops. Also, cassava can be intercropped with a number of other crops like beans, groundnuts at a spacing of between 50 by 20, and this gives the best yields for both cassava and the groundnuts. Groundnuts can be intercropped with cassava, or beans can be intercropped with cassava, especially when cassava has just been planted. This ensures that one is able to control weeds for both the cassava and for the intercropped crop, such that you get the maximum benefit out of it. Cassava, just like any other crop, also has a few challenges. One of the most common ones which farmers really struggle with are the weeds. It's important to ensure that your cassava garden is weed-free for at least the first 3 months when the cassava has sprouted. Now, it is very easy to make this happen because if you have intercropped with beans, as you control weeds in beans, you're also controlling weeds in the cassava garden. So you get the benefit, the maximum benefit for both crops. There are also a number of other challenges that could affect the cassava. One of the most common ones are the insect pests. And one of those is the mealybugs, which usually attack the growing points or just right under the leaves. This prevents, or makes the plant to stunt. There are also other insect pests like the white flies, which are so disadvantageous that they also act as vectors of viral diseases, including what we call cassava brown streak and cassava mosaic virus disease. These are two diseases which devastate cassava. The cassava brown streak has the capacity of actually wiping out 100% or leading to up to 100% yield loss. To control the cassava mealybugs, cassava white flies, one can use insecticides such as dudu wetherwet or dudu acelamectin. But once the garden has been infested or infected by the viral diseases, any of the cassava brown streak virus disease or the cassava mosaic virus, and these are usually the symptoms as seen by the leaves having different mosaics, or leaves growing really small, or that you have a distortion in the growth, especially at the growing points. In the local language, in Uganda, we call it chigenge. So once you notice that you have these symptoms in your garden, one and very important step first to take is to remove the already diseased plants, such that they do not become a source of infection for those that are newly that have just been planted, or for those that have not yet gotten infected with the disease. Cassava, once it has just sprouted, can also be sprayed with foliar fertilizers to ensure that there is fast growth, fast establishment, and that the leaves grow to full size and enable the plant to photosynthesize and produce enough food to ensure that the crop grows well.
Depending on the variety, harvesting cassava for food could begin from the 7th month after planting for early maturing varieties, or after 10 months for late varieties, when the lower leaves are distinctly yellow and some have dried with possible cracks in the ground by the tubers. It is likely that the plants are mature enough for the roots to be harvested. So, what exactly are the profit margins we can make at this stage? Otenga gives us what the expected results would look like.
The profitable in cassava farming, one, when you plant the 1 acre, you will use 0.7. It is 200, 2 times. You plow 2 times. Planting is 50,000. Then weeding, it is 50,000 times 3, which is 150. Then medicine plus labor of spraying plus urea, it is almost 250. Are you getting? Now when you put together, you get that 0.7. The profit, on cassava plantation which has a profit, it is for negotiation of the farm. Are you getting? Because negotiation of the farm, you'll get 4 million. About these chips, making this dried cassava is more profitable. But this one for loading of the trucks, which is fresh, that one you get on 3.8 or 3.5. That one. But which has no benefit, it is for these sticks. This one is lower market. So I advise farmers to do what? To sell on in farm. That one you can get money. Or to make it for chips way. You sell the dried cassava. Yes.
You too can make it today if you only start.